Hello, come on, Spin. Let's make a painting. And what we're gonna do is, actually I'm gonna try even something better than the last time. I'm gonna just pre-wet the corners. By the way, what I found for myself, and I'm pretty sure I'm not genius by any means. I'm 100% sure that people figured that out long time before me. But if I pre-wet only the corners, then on the back, then the paper is gonna stick. But that's not what I find out. I found out that if I do the same thing over and over, which one is the paintings that I do, because I make so many of them, and over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it's just like bored out of your mind, man. Then I realized it's like you start doing all kind of stuff after that, because if you keep repeating the same thing over and over, then you kind of start to experiment. And I feel like this is very true for a lot of people and for life itself, not for paintings only. But if you do so much of one thing, then eventually you will, I don't want to say evolve, because I don't think that's the right term for that, but you can like evolve, I guess, and you start to experiment. You start to break through different possibilities. So I think we're on that point. Well, I'm always try to be on that point, because I want to create more and more stuff. Anyway, clouds, foreground. And before everything is dry out, I'm gonna take the big brush. And that's right, we're gonna go with the big boy. And big boy doesn't work. So we're gonna go down. You see, that's what I mean. I really love that part. When you kind of excited to try something and actually doesn't work. So we're gonna take the palette knife and experiment again. There we go. Some texture on the foreground. And now I can have a choice. I can use some of my brush to, and you know what? This is forget about it. I need to change my paper towels anyway. So why not just take the paper towels and try to go on that paper. Let's see if we can come up with something. Oh yeah, there we go. Because I feel like it's too dark. I'm not gonna switch. I'm just gonna keep going. Look at that clouds, man. I love clouds. Okay, so now we have this. And now we're gonna have a sea blue black. Why? Because it's my favorite color. It's just amazing. And we're gonna go and create some shadows in these clouds. There we go. And then, very dramatic, by the way. A little bit more here. Clean the brush. Now we're going to switch to the smaller brush. And with the smaller brush, we're going to take some bluey and try to mark where the ocean is going to be. Okay. And almost very, very transparent, actually. Keep going, expand with that orange, with that ocean. I'm thinking about orange, so that's the next thing we're gonna have to take. Very, very solid color, raw color. And we're gonna expand that on the top here. Now it's kind of greenish, but we wanna have this here. And then we want to have another part over here. Now that's look like the sun, of course, but we're not gonna leave it like this. Now we're gonna start blending stuff. There we go. Gonna start blending. And this part over here, we're gonna try to move it left and right. There it is. And we're gonna keep continuing with that all the way to the top. Now we're gonna take the same color and try to mimic this on the foreground. And that's gonna be our connection, of course. Clean the brush again. Take the multiple brush and try to do this. Okay. Now, clean brush, the flat brush. And this is where we're gonna remove some of that yellow, of course, we just put. And why we want to remove something we just put? Well, we want to emphasize a little bit more on these lines. There it is. And here, and here, and here. There we go. I'll remove some of that here too. So we pretty much try to kind of remove some of the flat spots on the painting. Now we're gonna need a little bit more. Man, I'm starting it again. a little bit more. You know what? I will have to stay one day in front of a mirror or something and just repeat a little bit more until I feel like I'm sick and tired out of it. There we go. We need a contrast here. So remove the paint and then blend it. I'm doing everything where it's still moist so we can have a nice. There we go. And blend it. And we do that for extra drama, you know, high contrast. And maybe here. Pretty much no wrong answers here. It's just the sky. You can do so much with it. Now, dark sea blue black with some bluey. And we're gonna try to do the same thing on the water. Now, of course, on the water is gonna be a little bit, man, I gotta stop doing this. If it's annoying for me, I can imagine what's annoying for people who listen. Absolutely crazy. But we're gonna try to do the same thing here. And here. So we can have a nice contrast. Now, here is the funny part. We can keep doing this for a long period of time. The problem with that is it will start slowly, look like a realistic one. Which one? I personally don't want to do this. I try to avoid it. Now, one thing I see as a mistake in the whole picture is the horizon line is kind of blended. So I want to have more visible, more understandable. And water. Now, I'm going to start remove. I want to remove just a bit from here. Yeah, I gotta stop doing these clouds because now they start looking more and more. But man, they're so fun to play. There we go. Look at that. This is absolutely crazy. How can you make clouds? All right, and last touch is gonna be right here. I still wanna have these textures that I add earlier. Some of the textures from the palette. Should we put a bird? Yeah, we should. Right here. And there we go. Watercolor, abstract, landscape.